everyone, welcome back to this episode of Cart Crazy. Now that we've got our project cart moving under its own power, there's a couple things I'd like to tackle today. One, I'd like to button up that wiring we started on last time, and two, I've got these rusty bolts that are kind of stuck in place that I'm going to contend with, and I'll show you a little trick to get those out. I'm Jeff, welcome to Cart Crazy. Alright, if you can remember from I think it was the last episode or the episode before, this one bolt was stubborn for our battery tray, and I actually, rather than fight with it at that point, I was kind of in a hurry. I just ground the head off, pulled the battery tray out, knowing that I could mess with it later. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to put this washer over the top, just like that. I'm going to weld as much as I can on this washer, and then I'm going to come back with a nut, and I'm going to weld the nut to the washer, okay? And in the process of doing that, it's going to build some heat in here and hopefully release some of that rust and corrosion. And if I had a torch or a heat gun, we would maybe add a little bit in there. It's one thing for the shop I haven't gotten yet, so hopefully we'll get enough heat penetrated in there with just the welding that we'll be able to back it right out of there. So let's give it a try. So there you go. In just a couple of seconds, my plan worked flawlessly. Not the prettiest, but I was welding with my eyes closed. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as your socket will still fit on there. And sure enough heat in there. I was able to just back it right out, no problem. So this morning I walked by and pretty much put a hole in my pants because I hit the sharp edge on this walking by in the shop. I've got 3 of those. And yes, we can get at these on the back side and probably just, you know, if we had a torch or something, get some heat in there. But I'm going to take a bunch. I've got a bucket of these old lug nuts. I'm just going to weld a couple of these lug nuts on, and hopefully same process with the heat. We'll be able to just back these right out as well. So we'll see if we have as much luck with these as we did the other one. Well, it isn't pretty, but we're 2 for 2. Neighbors are having band practice again. Sorry about the noise, but this one I had to do a little bit different. I got a little overzealous on the first one, didn't let it cool, and it started rounding, which, you know, is fine because I had enough stud there. I wanted to get a little closer on the cart anyway, so I just went ahead and purposely snapped that one off. And then just got some heat in there, let it cool just enough where there's still heat in there, and then you can start turning. It's kind of you gotta kind of watch it and just make sure where you're at. But 2 for 2, let's see if we can get these other ones. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And these did not want to budge at all when I went to take those upper struts out originally. Started to turn on this one and it was wanting to twist the bolt, so we got to let it cool just a little bit more. Is that squeaking? That's a good sign. That means things are freeing up in there. Oops. Well, there you go. Got too excited. Getting overconfident. Got to do that one again. Trick is you still need heat. So like I said, it's kind of a fine line. Ooh, that ratchet is hot. Alright, crude but effective. And just to give you an idea how much heat we put in here, I can't leave my hand on that frame for very long. Of course, the socket, can't touch the socket. The head of the ratchet is super hot, can't touch that. So yeah, lots of there goes the UPS man. Lots of heat built up in there, which is what we needed to get those loose. So plan worked somewhat flawlessly. We'll move on to some wiring. Okay, so something else I wanted to get done in this video, and if you watch the video where we got this thing running for the first time, we had a problem where it was super slow. It was only 8 miles an hour. So I called Alltrax, which is the manufacturer of the controller, and they said, yep, no problem, just download some software off our website, which I think I did. I'm not super computer smart here, but we're going to give this a whirl. Plug in with a printer cable. So I went upstairs in my office, robbed the cable off my printer. There's a port right here we can plug into. And we're basically just going to wing this because I am not computer savvy. It's the way he made it sound, it was super simple. Hey, look at that. And wow. New program, what does that say? New program available for your controller. Do you wish to upgrade? Okay, so he said it's probably set, the speed is probably set really low, so we're going to tweak with this a little bit. And I guess first of all we'll do the upgrade. See how long that takes. And then look at this. We can set the controller settings, the speed, the amps, which is cranked all the way up. Max forward motor speed is at 100%. Max reverse speed is at 50%. But he said somewhere on here there was something that was probably checked that would make it go really slow. So I see it's doing the update here, so we'll let that finish first. Alright, snagged the battery out of Phoenix, my personal cart. Got my laptop hooked up, got my phone, so I've got my GPS speedometer, and we'll go for a ride here and play with these settings a little bit. See if we can't figure this out. Okay, well that's factory where nothing's changed. So let's click this. Let's see what that does. Well, I hope you watch this channel to learn something, because you're definitely going to learn something today. After fooling with the settings and everything on the laptop and driving around the block, I couldn't get it to go any faster. And I put it in reverse, stepped on the gas, the battery went flying forward, I spun the tires, I just about flew off the thing, and realized that I must have my forward and reverse backwards on my wiring, because reverse is forward and forward is reverse. So what I did after I realized that is I put my factory settings back on my controller through the laptop, because I didn't know what all I had messed with and I didn't want to screw anything up, so I there was a button on there to revert back to factory settings. I did that. Now I've got to grab my wiring diagram, my good old paper wiring diagram, and figure out what I did wrong on this motor that I've got reverse and forward messed up. So once I do that, we should be able to fly down the road with this thing. It should go at least, I would think, 16, 17, 18 miles an hour. So, and have all kinds of torque with this Alltrax controller. So let me check my wiring diagram and see if we can figure that out quick. Alright, so the only thing that makes sense is my S1 and S2 from my motor are reversed. On the series motor wiring from the EZ-GO, you can see on there S1 goes to B, S2 goes to D. And on the Alltrax wiring, it says the S1 goes to D and the S2 goes to B. So they're complete opposite, and that would make sense forward and reverse. So basically, I just need to switch those two around on my forward and reverse switch. Switch those around, and we should be forward should be forward and reverse should be reverse. So let's find out. Alright, moment of truth. Switch those two around, which should give me my reverse and forward in the correct order. We'll fire it up here. Battery pack is on, and if all goes well, reverse should be a lot slower. I don't know if I'm in forward or reverse at the moment. Oh, it looks like I'm in neither. Huh. That's interesting. No, I don't have anything. Whoa, there it goes. Little delay, I guess. I don't know if you can see that in the sunlight. Okay, that's way better. So I don't know if you could hear me with the wind, but we definitely got 20 miles an hour out of it, which is perfect. I would have been happy with 16 or 17, so 20 is great. It's got good throttle response. So now I think I'll kind of disassemble a little bit. I'm not going to zip tie and button all this up perfectly because I still want to strip this frame down a little more and do some painting. I am going to, however, button up those butt connectors like we talked about earlier and just kind of clean things up a little bit. Probably start ordering some parts for this. I'm still a little undecided on what I'm going to do, but I was a little apprehensive on ordering parts because I wasn't sure exactly if that controller was going to work out. And now that we've got that dialed in, we can go ahead and start ordering, you know, body panels, whatever, seats, whatever we think we're going to do on this. So let me get this battery off of here. Like I said, we'll button up that wiring and go from there. Well, I just wanted to show you. Probably doesn't look a whole lot different to you, but I cleaned this wiring up considerably. Put some new ends on a lot of these, shortened these wires. Some of them are way too long, some of them were too short. I eliminated the quick connector here. That was all corroded and yucky. I still have to do the one, obviously, with the wire nut. I'm going to do something a little different there. But got some nice heat shrink connectors on those. Got this all cleaned up. All of this is coming back off so we can strip the frame down a little better and do some more painting. But just wanted to show you that. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, everyone. I hope you learned something on this episode. I know I did. This one's been a lot more challenging than a couple of the other carts I've done, but very rewarding. It's good to see this thing go down the road at 20 miles an hour after being basically left for dead. So we're on our way to a brighter future with this for sure. And next up, we'll probably start doing some painting and do something with the wheels and tires, maybe work on this sloppy steering. I don't know. I've got a lot of ideas, but we'll get it figured out together. We'll see you next time on Kart Crazy.